P. Balaprasad Garu, Chairman of Computer Society of India, Hyderabad Chapter, onto the dais. Thank you for joining us, sir. Now, I cordially invite Sri Srinivasa Rao, sir, Head Academic and Industry Council, CSI Hyderabad Chapter, onto the stage.
Sir, ఇక్కడ కడైందా సార్ ఇక్కడ వదిలేస్తున్నాం ఒక 10 minutes దాంతో స్టార్ట్ అయింది నీకు సార్ ఇక్కడ అడ్వర్టైజ్
It's my pleasure to invite Dr. M. Madhubala Madam, Dean of Computational Studies, onto the stage. Thank you, ma'am. I'm overwhelmed to invite Dr. B. Padmaja Madam, HOD of CSI AIML, and the Student Branch Council of CSI to accept her chair. Thank you, ma'am. I request Dr. M. Purushottam Reddy, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Information Technology, onto the dais. Thank you, sir, for joining.
ఏం పోతుంది అంత జూమ్ అవసరం లేదు చూస్తున్నావు అని చూపిస్తున్నాను అందరినీ
I humbly request Sri P. Balaprasad Garu, who is the Transformation Innovation Leader, High-Tech Unit at Tata Consultancy Services, Chairman of Computer Society of India, Hyderabad Chapter, Secretary of Internet Society India, Hyderabad Chapter, Treasurer of IEEE Hyderabad Section, Co-Chairman of Information Technology and Digital Communications. Sir's specializations include Enterprise Cloud Architecture, Microservices, Artificial Intelligence, Analytics, DevOps, API Management, Cloud Business Solutions, Performance Engineering and Turing. Sir holds many certifications which include Open Group Certified Master Architect Level 2, TOGAF Certified, Microsoft Azure Architect Certified, AWS Architect Professional. Sir, I request you to address the students.
Good morning, everyone. You're still not out of sleep? Good morning, everyone. Excellent. I think this is one of the fabulous institute I have ever visited, and I believe you might be feeling a lot of proud to be part and associated with Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. It's a great pleasure and honor for me to be part of this occasion. Where you are getting oriented on some of the important initiatives which are getting drawn out because of your faculty got involved, specifically getting associated with Computer Society of India. Just to set the context here, why we are doing this, what is the benefit, what is the kind of a value, and what you try to gain by attending these particular sessions. The most important thing what one need to understand is while you are trying to get coached on the academic part in your journey of education for the 4 years of your engineering study, it is very, very important for also for you to understand how industry is gathering and trying to move forward. And there would be a significant gap what academic level of thinking and what industry expectations would be. And if you really wanted to bridge that particular gap, the best way is to associate with some of the industry bodies. And the bridge for you to get associated is to ride upon the non-profit organizations like with CSI, ACL, IEEE, IIT, IET, and many more, which are trying to give you the kind of connections to the industry, and where industry will be able to provide you the different perspectives, different applications of using the technologies of your academic learning. So it is important that you associate. The second part which I wanted to communicate is why CSI? Computer Society of India is one of the oldest body within the India, primarily aiming and trying to provide you kind of a platform for you to get oriented on some of the advanced and core technologies which is completely changing the landscape of our thinking and which is also providing the avenues where technologies are transforming the social behavior. And using the social behaviors, you see there is a technologies are getting conversion, making a big difference. You might have witnessed in the last few years, there are so many changes we have seen. And one example I would like to take is about our cash economy. We have moved away from our cash to the digital wallets. And if you really see, we have a travel part is also moved away from regular public transportation services to the demand on drive. So you can think about Rapido or Uber or Ola. Similarly, our hospitality industry has changed dramatically, where you can book any hotel at any point of time on demand. Lot of such kind of a transformations are triggered because of the convergence of the technology, because of the industry revolution which has really driven the change. If you typically talk about in the digital technology landscape, everybody speaks about cloud, mobile computing, social, collaboration channels, analytics, robotics, Internet of Things. They all come into existence. But there is also another dimension of thinking people are really looking at, artificial intelligence. AI is becoming a very important element in the entire story, and AI is trying to transform their level of thinking. But you might be very surprised to know that today, when you are trying to build the AI systems, it requires a lot of processing capabilities and a lot of data and variety into it. And when you're really trying to look at it, you need to understand when you're trying to deal with the volume, there is a lot amount of data which get analyzed, processed, and looked at. And you need to derive intelligence. And this is not so easy. And today, if you see the industry numbers, hardly 7 to 8% of the systems which are built on AI are really productionized and really create value. And if you are really looking into that dimension, you also see that people who are into building such kind of systems, we say that they are revolved around the psychophysical systems because as you are going more digital, it is always vulnerable to the security. You have seen so many instances where people are getting worried about the security aspects of privacy and security becoming a very important elements to think about.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. Someone answers. Okay. So, first I want to thank CSI and Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. I think this is a wonderful institute where I see the premises and facilities. So I want to thank both of you for giving this opportunity to speak about what's happening in the world. Probably 45 minutes you have to bear with me. How many people know Telugu here? Raise your hand. Almost everyone, right? Saturday morning, Indra Babu used to speak Telugu and everyone. 1, 2, 3. I like your honesty. Be honest. Please raise. One more time, then I think you'll see more. One more time. Very good. At least I think 15% people think this is a boring session, but 85% people think this is okay. I'm okay. Alright, so let me start my presentation. What is happening in the world? I want to give you a few examples which as an engineer you have to understand. You're all from what? Computer science, AI, ML, information technology. Anybody from mechanical? No? I did my mechanical engineering. I did my master's in engineering. Nobody from mechanical. Anybody from civil? Anybody from electronics? All are computer science, right? Okay, it doesn't matter what engineering discipline you are in. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to tell, very carefully listen that, the examples. What is happening in the world? If you understand it, then start thinking different. You will know what is the purpose of engineering, what you are doing. When I was doing engineering, mathematics, differential equations, limits, integrations, we did not know why they were, but we all got 95, 99 marks. But we never know what is the application of mathematics, what is the application of science, what is the application of physics and all. So are you learning that, or still you feel you are just going through theoretical aspects? How many people think you know that this is the problem exists in the market? For example, you say that there is too much of a traffic on Hyderabad roads. How engineering can solve that problem? Do you have any idea? Right? So this is the problem from India. Students have to learn the applied knowledge of engineering. Whatever you learn, if you don't know how to apply that knowledge and come up with innovations, then probably it is very difficult for you to be successful. Let me show some of the innovations what are happening in the world. So when you wear the t-shirt, imagine an innovation. You have sensors here. And it reads the heart that whatever the chemical required to be built in, then manually you put it as something like a spout, and then you put it onto the conveyor, right? That's where the human beings do it. But this Siemens has done an automatic factory. What is that? There is an RFID instructions on the bottle. There is a bottle, RFID instructions. When you put it back in the first machine, the machine automatically reads the RFID instructions. It knows that what is the chemical I have to fill, what is the fluid I have to fill into the bottle. There is no human being there. Once it is filled, automatically the first machine sends the instruction to this. The bottle moves to the second machine. Automatically the second machine will put the spout. And it automatically moves to the third machine without any human intervention. It will also paste the label. What is that required for that bottle? Right? Finally it goes to the conveyor and whatever the other process happens. Don't you think this is done by no human being? Agree? This is what going to happen in future. Not many human beings will be there. In the industry, everything is done by machines and things, the rudimentary things and all. So you as engineers need to understand tomorrow to get the job. If I have less number of human beings, what sort of innovations I can do? If machines are doing the rudimentary and day-to-day activities, right? That is the. This is another interesting innovation. Look at here. What is this? Bed, right? Can you imagine, somebody wants very hot weather one side, other side they want cool weather. Okay, they want, when they sleep, I think this side I want a little bit of hot weather, or and this side when I sleep I want a bit of, this is a fight happening for example. It could be between the brother, sister, or brother and brother, or wife and husband and all. Same bed, but you want to have different setups. You can set up using this solution a different temperature. This side, left side, I can have a different temperature when I sleep here. The right side, I can have a different temperature. What else? When I'm sleeping, it can automatically see what are the health indicators of yours. What is the blood pressure? And are you sleeping well or not? The bed will send messages to the mobile phone and tell you that, hey guys, you are not sleeping well. I think the sleeping time is only 4 hours. It automatically alerts you. What it automatically alerts you when you are sleeping? Some vibration in that bed sheet, and also a little bit of temperature up for you to wake up. What is the benefit of this? Comfort, convenience, right? And if 2 people are sleeping, it is again for 2 people you can differently configure whatever you want this side and that side. This is another innovation. These are all happening because of technology, right? So I am telling all these things for you to think different. All these innovations are happening. This is not a sci-fi. These are all happening in the world. As an engineer, you need to think about what are the new things can be innovated by us. This is the shoe. Again, look at that. It will send the messages. I am walking here. If suppose there is any wet area is there, I may slip, then automatically my shoe will alert me, hey, you are getting into the wet area. Be careful. I get an immediate message to my mobile phone. Ding. Then I will say, oh, careful. Or you are getting into a dangerous zone. Then the shoe will send a message that you are already getting into a dangerous zone. And where you are, if you are in a mine, for example, already the mining work is very complicated, very complex, right? But you went to the mine, then you have to really know there is a security issues are there at a particular location. The shoe all basically sends the message. And it also alerts you if you are really tired, if there is a traffic. The shoe will say that reading the interval, body sensors are there in the shoe, and it also gets charged itself. When anything have a sensors or anything need to send message to your mobile phone, they should be charging, right? Electricity is required. When you are moving, kinetic energy is there, with that it gets charged. This is another innovation. How many people do shopping here? Everybody do shopping here, right? You see the mannequins, right? When you go. But they're all static today. Now look at this. House of Fraser, they made the mannequins intelligent. What does it mean? The mannequins are the sensors, the beacons. And you have the mobile app of House of Fraser. When you get into the showroom, you have that app up and running, right? Then automatically you get a welcoming message saying that, welcome BSR. When I go near to this mannequin, 50 meters away, or nearer 30 meters, 20 meters, it tells you the mannequin, the entire what I have is made by this manufacturer. This is the price of this. If you want to purchase, you go to this website, all information is automatically sent to you. To your mobile phone. The mannequin is intelligent. It has sensors, it has software, whatever the attire it has, it knows that, it knows the attire information, right? Because but all, it will also direct you. Within this store, you go to aisle number 3, this particular piece is available. If these things are possible, can you imagine this? Any retail store can do that, right? Another interesting thing, especially for me, people like me, who doesn't do any exercise or walking, there is a bank. The bank is tracking what is the exercise you are doing every day, walking or swimming, how many calories you are spending. If you are spending the required amount of calories as per the target, it gives you more interest. The bank is giving more interest when you take care of the health. Make sense? How many people use here Fitbits, something like that? Anybody? Use it, right? You get the tracking information, right? How many calories you spend, how many steps you walk. All that information goes to the banking system automatically from your wearable device. Then the bank tracks that, oh, you are doing fantastic job, till now we are giving only 1%, let me give you 2%. They are encouraging the physical health. This is another innovation banks are doing. I am checking your attendance. Okay? So we look at your car today. Car is a platform. Can you imagine car is a software? Car is a big software system. How many things are there within the car? Look at here. There is a music system, there is internet, there is navigation. There is a video, there are games, mobile services, online meetings I can attend through my car because internet is there. The console is there. Of course, not when you are driving. And the whole vehicle control. Self-driving car, so many people know. Right? So the car configuration is completely changed. As an engineer, you need to know that what is the new car looks like. Very interesting in the construction industry. Look at that robo, what it is doing. You just clear that. There is water. I don't know if the sound comes or not. No? Okay, alright. Alright, this is a robo. It is the construction work to put the shields on the wall. The robo will take that and it will go slowly and then parallel. That's another interesting. Okay. Right, I think it's long. Look at it. Look that, of course, it is very slow today. After 10 years, you will see that it will run, but probably you can't beat them. Today, robots are very slow. Look that, it is lifting, it is going there. What else they do in future after 10 years, right? Okay, the next one is very interesting. It is a swarm, that drone, a very simple, small robo. Look at here. If you want to do the timing on the floor, no human being is required. This robotic swarm means there are a collection of mini micro robots. Go back. Play. Look at that. This is one. Like this I can have 10, 100. But very orchestrated. Without hitting each other. They can do the timing in probably few hours. No human being is required. Alright. Okay, to summarize, every object today is injected with software by seeing the examples I told. Look at here. Pacemaker has 80,000 lines of software code today. It is completely injected with software. Tomorrow you can inject the software into the chair. Our bedsheet already has seen that. When I say injected software, what does it mean? There is an object, whether it is a car, or a machine, equipment, chain, plant, it doesn't matter. It has sensors, it has electronic chip, it has embedded software, and there is a connectivity, whether it is 5G or 4G. And then the data coming from the sensors is processed by it. It will send to your mobile phone. For example, if such type of a design, you are sitting for a long time in the wrong posture in the chair will tell you, hey, you are sitting in the wrong posture, sit right, otherwise you will get back pain. That is the intelligence what you are injecting into the chair. Right? So Ford has 10 million software lines of software code in the car. Okay? Okay, so in summary, for all these innovations, these are all the technologies being used. What I am trying to give a message here is, multiple technologies are playing a role in today's innovations. Look at that. IPv6, mobile, social, analytics, cloud, robotics, cybersecurity, 3D printing. If you think that if I learn one or two technologies, I can be successful in the era of today, no, it is not possible. Whatever innovations I have shown there, whether it is a t-shirt, whether it is a car, whether it is a bedsheet, multiple technologies are required for you to be innovative. Okay? So I call it the fusion of technologies, information technologies, operational technologies, communication and operational technologies. If you are in healthcare, even biotechnologies. All these things are getting converged. That is called fusion of technologies. Okay. This one now, by seeing all this, can I give life to a thing? Is it possible? Can I give life to a chain? Can I give life to a plant? Can I give life to a machine? Is it possible? Yes or no? So what human being has, they can sense, right? We have the 5 senses, right? As a human being, we can sense, we can think, we can communicate, we can predict. These are all the features what we have as human beings. If the same characteristics are I give to any device, anything, whether it is a plant or machine or equipment, don't you think we are giving life to them? That means a car is able to sense today, or it is able to think today, it is able to communicate, it is able to predict where the traffic congestion will be there. If all those characteristics we are giving, this is one fundamental thing happening today. You are giving life to things, that's where, as I said, whether it is a tiling or whether it is putting the, whatever wooden thing into the wall, everything is done by what? A thing that is a robot. Okay? So we are able to give the things, number two, yeah, so with this now, how many things get connected to internet? Today, what is the population of India? 136 crores around. So let us say that some 100 crore people are connected to internet. You think only human beings get connected to internet? No. The car is getting connected to internet. The tree is getting connected to internet. The tree is getting connected to internet. Like human beings, the physical objects which are becoming intelligent when you give the life to them, they are also connecting to internet. The population of India today is not 135 crores or 156 crores. Probably it is 250 crores when you consider when your washing machine is connected to internet, when your refrigerator is connected to internet. That means there is a new workforce is emerging, that is a digital workforce. They are working together with the human workforce. This is another interesting thing you have to understand. 2025, 41.6 billion things get connected to internet. By that time you will have just 7.8 billion things are human beings. But all other things are what? Non-human beings which are intelligent. For every 60 seconds, what is happening in the internet, you look at here. So, I think Google conducts, how many are? White actually. Okay, Zoom hosts some, how many meetings here? 8, what is it? I'm not able to see it. Netflix, 452,000 hours of movies are seen by the population in the world every 60 seconds. In 1 minute, that is what. And if you look at what is Facebook, there are 44 million messages are being exchanged within the Facebook. Why I put this slide? Within 1 minute, what is happening in the world is phenomenal in real time. Too much of data is flowing. You and me connected to internet, we can do anything today. Okay, in summary, what I am trying to convey here is people-to-people communication already there. Maybe 50, 60 or 100 years back, the communication was through ship. And when somebody posts a letter, it will come through ship and it takes 2-3 months to come to India. But what is today? You have Microsoft Teams, you have Zoom, you have WhatsApp. Within fraction of seconds, you can communicate. That's where I think the communication and collaboration between the people has gone up. The second one is people and things are getting communicated. I said Taylor is talking to the human being, or machine is talking to the human being. So people to things are getting connected. Things to things are getting connected. That is, the car is talking to the car. The car, you are driving something, this car talks to another car 5 miles away and says that, hey, in this route there is a traffic congestion, but we go other route. The car and car are talking to each other. My dear friends, this is the new world I would like to introduce to you. People to people, people to things, things to things. The things here could be a robot, the thing here could be an intelligent washing machine, or a tree, whatever it is. We all need to work together. It's not like only human beings. This is the world we already started living and it will go up further. Okay, so in all these things, now technology has become very interesting thing. Okay, just to summarize, whatever the examples I told till now, the innovation, whether it is intelligent t-shirt or whether it is the robot is basically doing the construction work and all, everything is possible because of the centerpiece called cyber system. You are here to build that cyber system. Especially the computer science people, you have to understand that what is the meaning of today's cyber system. The cyber system you have to build in such a way you can connect the things like people to things, and things to things need to be connected. But then a lot of technologies are required. That's what you have to bring onto the table. Next is, if a robot is doing or a chatbot is doing the work being done by the human beings, that means you should learn how to develop the algorithms. It should develop the virtual brains. That is also part and parcel of the cyber system. Then, autonomous systems you have to build, right? The car is driving itself, then you have to understand how to use the technologies to make the car driving itself. The car itself. That is called autonomous. So, I'm not getting into all these features. As you are from computer science and artificial intelligence and machine learning, you have to understand that the cyber system, how you design, and you need to innovate such type of cyber systems. If you don't get these capabilities, it is not possible for you to have the innovation what I mentioned. So when this cyber system is there, most of the people talk about if this cyber system, whatever is there in the middle, impacting the manufacturing industry, where there are mechanical systems or optical systems like lenses and then screens and all, electrical systems, or our machines and equipment, that is called Industry 4.0. That means the cyber system, which is impacting the mechanical system, optical systems, right? Some of the examples you already saw there. There is a bottling plant, right? There is a mechanical system, an electrical system. That is impacted by the cyber system which I explained now. It is called Industry 4.0. But the cyber system is not limited only to mechanical systems, it is also for the human beings. How many people know that Elon Musk is working on brain-computer interface? Nobody knows? You know it, okay, sorry. There's a raised hand, I thought I was a question. You have to understand that you are living in this world, AI, ML and computer science. He is putting the chip into the brain. And the chip reads the thoughts, feelings. And then it will go to the computer, you can see that, you can download the memories. That's the future. Alright, so that is the biological, all those things are possible. That means he is building one of the best cyber systems in the world. The cyber system means in the middle, what are the things? That is done by engineers like you. You should know how to design that type of modern cyber system. So there are different things, Industry 4.0, if IAS officers, ministers, they know how to use this cyber system to provide better value to the citizens. It is called Society 4.0. Like that you have Biology 4.0. Is it clear? Right? So what you have to do now, you need to understand that when the technologies are converged, when AI, ML, blockchain, IoT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, augmented reality, virtual reality, metaverse, digital twin, all these things when you combine, you get a sophisticated modern cyber system that is the foundation for any revolutions in the coming years. Any innovations you want to do, you have to understand that these technology innovations are convergence is very important. Okay, so all this is a great talk, but unfortunately the industries are failing. Right? Like Bala said, only 6 to 7% projects started by the enterprises are successful in artificial intelligence and machine learning. What does it mean? But not only artificial intelligence, machine learning, even analytics, cloud, multi-cloud, hybrid cloud, or blockchain, all these projects, the organizations which are doing that, very good to build the proof of concept. Very good, okay, it's working fine as a prototype. When you go to take it to the ground level, the real work environment, they are all ready. So this is where I want to give some few key messages. What is that is, you need to acquire new skills. Okay, I will pause here. Do you understand the world what we are living in? Any questions? You don't respond or what? You took a promise not to respond? Huh? How many people did not understand whatever I said till now? Can you please raise hand? 100% understood. Great. So the key message here is, if you want to live, excel in today's this connected world, whatever I explained, you have to acquire new skills, new thinking, new mindset, new capabilities, new behavior, new attitude. If you don't acquire all those things, Just learning engineering and going to the industry to think that you will excel, no, it's not possible. Okay, this is what I think all my experience in the last probably 26 years, I translated and put into one book called Lean Digital Thinking. The answers to you, how you want to be successful in this digital era or in the industry 4.0. So what are the things you have to learn? What behaviors you have to acquire? How you can bring the engineering innovations? All those things are basically written in this book. So, what is the success of this book? There are 28 senior leaders. How many people know ARM Holdings? Anybody know? Objective Management Group. Did you hear about that? OMG. I think as an engineer you have to know all those things. One of the best manufacturing companies, ARM Holdings. The chairman of that, the former chairman, and OMG Group after written story, they have given the endorsements on this book. Okay? Like that 28 senior executives have given and great endorsements on how you can prepare for the digital future. Okay. So, I talk about modern cyber system, right? So that's what I think you have to understand. Then second, okay, why you need an intelligent t-shirt? Why you need an intelligent pacemaker which has 80,000 lines of code? Why you need a car with 10 crore lines of code? Or 1 crore lines of software code? So you need to understand, okay, I can build a modern cyber system with the technology convergence, but I should know why I need to bring the innovations. Then you need to acquire new mindset to be successful. I will not trouble you with too much of information. The key messages I want to give here. First one, you need to understand how I can engineer, how I can design a modern cyber system. What is a modern cyber system? What are the features it has? If I have a modern cyber system, what wonders I can do? If Elon Musk wants to connect the brain and the computer, and he is also doing so much of space innovation. And he has got excellent automotive innovation. So everything is possible because of the modern cyber system. Okay, you build the modern cyber system, but how to use that? And why you need to use that to get out of the innovation? You have to understand that, right? That is the second part. And third part, you cannot execute with your traditional thinking. The new way of innovations cannot come out, right? Your thinking process has to be changed. There is a new thinking you have to acquire that is called lean digital thinking. That is also explained in this book. Next, what to digitalize, how to digitalize, new normal and the pandemic. The COVID-19 has interrupted so many things in the world. And digital adoption has gone off because of the COVID-19. So what is that change in the whole world? How it changes our family life? How it changes our personal life? How it changes the industries? How it changes the government? How it changes the society? So the COVID-19 has impacted tremendously. Then in that impacted COVID-19 world, that is called a new normal. How the world looks like. And how the technologies are used to ensure that you live properly. You live safely. You continue your work, whatever is required. Even there is a pandemic, right? Are you clear what I mentioned here? Right? So you need to understand what is modern cyber system. You need to acquire a new thinking. That's where Bob also mentioned. There is a digital thinking you should have. You know that there is a critical thinking, there is a systems thinking. How many people know computational thinking? Is there any subject for you? I think you should introduce that, computational thinking, right? There are so many thinkings are there in the world, but the new thinking required has to be introduced. That is called lean digital thinking. You have to start thinking different. There are some 12 principles are there. I don't want to bore you with that. But you have to read that, you have to understand that. Then your brain starts thinking different. Then you can innovate an intelligent t-shirt. Then you can innovate an intelligent chain. But if you have the thinking which is traditional, but you want to come out with the great innovations without lean digital thinking, it is not possible. Okay, this is what, once again, the modern cyber system you have to understand. You have to group here. I don't think one person or 2 or 3 people can really understand everything, but this whole team has to be proficient with any of these technologies. You have to come together, make sure that from this institution, we are on the journey of building a modern cyber system. We are probably at this level. Maybe we have to go at this level. This is the first one. The second one. Okay, this is very simpler way what I am saying. You need to understand there are 12 principles you have to acquire. I don't want to read here. Your thinking process has to change. This is called lean digital thinking. One, I will give that. Predict and improve business performance. That is the fifth principle. What does it mean? Suppose there is this hurricane is coming or a storm is coming. You have the space satellite, right? ISRO, for example. Who happened in Vizag? The ISRO have helped to predict what is the intensity of hurricane and where it will hit. What is the speed? Don't you think it is called predicting the performance or predicting what is going to happen? With your technologies like AI, ML and other corrupted technologies, you are able to predict what is going to happen. So you have to understand how I think in such a way where I am bringing the engineering innovations, how I can use the technologies so that I can predict the future. I can predict when the car is going to fail. I can predict when the time is going to derail. All those things are possible, but you have to start thinking, oh, that is one of the important things in the lean digital thinking. Like that, there are 12 principles you have to understand each one. Then it is easy for you to think different, easy for you to come up with a lot of innovations. I just explained one, but there are how many? 12. 12 principles you have to understand in and out. This is called lean digital thinking. Make you think different, make you successful in this highly technology-driven world. Okay, I'm here again. This is complex, but the engineers like you, just look at that. You must understand the modern cyber system, how you need to design and build. That's where the 3 boxes there. You must have a strategy for that. You must have a governance for that. Cyber system is very complex. You should also learn what is the architecture to build a cyber system. All the things are explained in the book saying that how as an engineer you can build a modern cyber system. Right? And as an engineer you also need to know how to design a product, right? Yes or no? You have to design a product. The product could be a car. The product could be a machine. So you also need to know that the products are there, how you can apply lean digital thinking to come up with innovative products, whether it is a t-shirt, whether it is a robo. You have seen so many examples there. So as an engineer, how you apply this lean digital thinking for bringing the innovations in the modern cyber system, various products and things, and also the workplaces. This is the workplace for me, Auditorium. Can I digitalize this? Is it possible? Can I put some sensors here? Can I put some embedded software and chips here? What are the things we can do in this auditorium? When I come to the room, I get a welcoming message. Welcome Mr. VSR. Maybe the beacon or sensor reading. I am coming there. It knows VSR is coming. It automatically says welcome VSR. Okay. As I said here, I can instrument the chains and say that sit in the right position. That is the second one, right? You got my point what I'm saying? How do you digitalize this auditorium? That is the workplace. You also need to understand. Probably next time when I come here, I would like to see you come up with some innovations of modern cyber system and you come up with some solutions to make this workplace called auditorium digital, intelligent, able to sense, able to predict. The room temperature here is 35 degrees Celsius. The carbon dioxide in this room is this much, my dear friends. The auditorium will alert on the screen saying that the carbon dioxide is too much. You have to do something now. That's called applying lean digital thinking to build a digital workplace. Like that, if you go to the industry, there are so many areas where lean digital thinking can be applied. But for you as a student, I will tell the technology strategy, governance, architecture, products, and workplace are the very important things you need to understand. If you are from management school, the other things also. Next one. Next one. Okay, now a few thoughts I'll cover. Any questions till now? Interesting? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Good. Okay, few thoughts. So what I'm going to say here is, this is I think 5 years back again, when Chandra and his colleagues invited Mohan Rao. I introduced something called digital engineering. There is nothing like, no, I am mechanical engineer, I am AI, ML engineer, all it doesn't work. there is something called, this institution has to practice something called digital engineering. So, just go back. So I call it as a digital mechanical engineering, digital civil engineering, digital electronics engineering. That's what required for you all. What does it mean? Next slide. So centerpiece is your engineering, let us take that. You are an engineering discipline. Just as for simplicity I am doing, you are an electronics engineer or a mechanical engineer. But it is not enough for you to innovate. You need to have engineering disciplines from other disciplines also need to acquire some skills. If you want to design a car today, I need to have electrical engineers because it is an electrical car. I need a computer science engineer. I need to have this artificial intelligence machine learning to predict when the car is going to fail or how much speed you are going. That's where the computer science is used and IT is used there for writing the software. Software has 10 million or 1 crore software code within the car. That means you need IT engineer. You need computer science engineer. You need electrical engineer. You need instrumentation engineers where the sensors play a very vital role. And of course the mechanical engineering is the core there. So as a mechanical engineer you must understand that I have to acquire the breadth of the skills in other disciplines. As a computer science engineer you should understand how the mechanical systems work, how the civil systems work. If you don't understand that, as a computer science engineer, the other disciplines, you are just what? I don't get any value from you. So you as an engineer here, if you are from A and ML, you need to understand that you need to know the fundamentals of mechanical engineering, fundamentals of civil engineering, fundamentals of metallurgical engineering. That is the breadth of skills you have to acquire. Usually in the first year engineering, we acquire the breadth. After that, we don't care about the other engineering disciplines. No, it's not the case. All 4 years, you have to make sure that if you are a pure AML engineer, you must have the capabilities from other disciplines, the breadth, you don't need to go to depth. That's why we call it the T-shaped engineering. The breadth is your surrounding capabilities from other disciplines, the depth is your core. When you AML, you spend 70% of capabilities, 25 to 30% you have to acquire the skills of the other engineering disciplines. Generally, you will be a successful engineer in this post-industrial revolution. There is nothing like I am great in mechanical, I am great in civil, those things will not work. This is integrated digital engineering. Okay, that is the first point. So I request you to see that, I don't know to what extent of the autonomy you have. Try to see that core engineering and what is the breadth of other engineering disciplines you spread across 4 years and you teach them, they will become superstars, then they make extraordinary innovations. Applying that lean digital thinking. The second one, you have centers of excellence. I think you already started something, right? But look at it in a holistic way. Don't look at, okay, you have centers of excellence for AML, centers of excellence for blockchain, centers of excellence for ARVR, but that doesn't help unless you solve the problem. The problems would be today's sustainability. In the next 6 to 7 years, people are expecting the temperature goes up by 1.5 degrees Celsius, then you will have natural calamities probably 100 times more than what we are seeing. Today you look at how many floods are coming, how many people are dying, right? China, what happened? In the last 1,000 years, I think they got the biggest flood. They never experienced. All these things are happening because of the impact on the environment. Now you have to say how AML, how all these centers of excellence, which are horizontal, help in improving the sustainability or environment. Or how you build a great product which is very smart. So each center of excellence, independently you create, but they have to work for a purpose. I think you need to look at the center of excellences like that. Don't look at this, just horizontal, I put it so I am done. No, you need to also have the verticals there. So there might be something like healthy life. Okay, how these centers of excellence, 6 or 8 or 10, help you to improve the health of the human beings. So each center of excellence here have to work together and improve the human life. Okay? This is another message I give to this institution. How do you set up your centers of excellence? Okay, next is once you learn the skills, you also need to apply, right? I told you would have engineering convergence, you would have all those things. You also need to have a platform here where the professors or CSI or today if I talk about Institute of Engineering and Technology, we publish the problems in this platform. Can you give the solutions for that? Can you come up with innovations? You need to have a practical ground to apply your knowledge to come up with some innovations. You don't need to build. But you need to apply the lean digital thinking. When I knew that in Bangalore, I think the topic is too much, want to solve the problem. Then you from this institution can form the groups and say that this is the better way to solve the problem using technology. Everything is on the platform. You can do it automatically, publish it, assessment and everything is there. So these are all the three key messages I would like to give before I conclude. Number one, you learn how to build a modern cyber system. Right? And engineering today is not just simply a discipline. You have to learn T-shaped engineering. Then when you set up the centers of excellence, don't look at isolated, non-integrated centers of excellence. You have to make sure that AI, ML, blockchain, IoT, all these centers of excellence have to work together to solve a problem or to create something new. Right? And finally, you also, it's not just learning in the center of excellence or learning your teaching whatever engineering skills. You have to have a platform to apply that. That platform, I work with CSI also. We collect the industry problems. We publish and we challenge you. Can our students and professors come up with innovative solutions? Then CSI and IIT can introduce an award. Oh, this is the best solution, I think. Everything is accessible from our home or from our college, it doesn't matter. But you have to apply. You have to apply whatever you learn. That platform, we can work together and provide. We'll give you the challenges, we'll give you the certifications and everything. Thank you so much. Any questions? Clear? Yeah, I think my personal commitment here from this team or from who are not attended, I am personally ready to mentor 9 superstars from this institution. Who are those 9, I don't know, but I have a very stringent process. I will help them to do some wonders. If anybody is interested, you can talk to your professors. The 9 superstars, we will make sure whatever the innovations I explained, 1 of, 2 of, 3 of those innovations, we want to do that. And some of these members here, we will take them and we mentor them, we help them to build them. Thank you so much. Any questions? No?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
It was very good to hear from you all the advantages and appreciations of AI/ML. But the saying goes that every coin has 2 sides. What I know about the AI/ML and artificial intelligence is that it reduces employment, it reduces the human bonds or emotional bonds. So, what is your opinion on the disadvantages or the other side of AI/ML?
So when I was working in TCS in 1995, I was managing 2 projects. One is in Tamil Nadu, other in AP Hyderabad at that time. There was a protest against computerization. They said that all jobs will be removed. We don't want to do that at all. For any industry revolution, some of the jobs will be lost. There is no way you can avoid that. But there will be 10 times new jobs will be created, number one. Instead of you doing yourself, probably a robot is doing your job, then your job is lost. Then what you have to do? All these new engineering innovation skills you have to acquire, which is the brain work. The future jobs are with the brain work, not the muscle power. Why the divide has come between the man and the woman? Just because of the muscle power and physical strength, right? In the past. You have more strength, then you have more salary in the past. But today, you have the brain power. Who has the more brain power will get better jobs. You have to build the algorithm. You have to build a new modern cyber system. So such type of jobs will be hundreds and hundreds of jobs will be created, but anything which is rudimentary and which are repeated, that those things will be clearly repeated. Right? Then the other side, security is very important. You said, when all these digital workforces are coming, maybe when robot is walking, I am also walking, right? We two are working together, maybe in the next 5 to 10 years time. Then if that guy, somebody injected another malicious software, and the robot will snap me, right? Or it kill me also, right? Somebody hacked the pacemaker. And they changed the electrical pulse of the pacemaker, you are wrong. So the negative side of this thing is you have to be very careful. When you are developing the innovations, you also need to be socially responsible. And you need to adhere to the constitution or policies, whatever government is. Clear? So I am telling you 10 times, 100 times new jobs will be created. But what jobs are you getting ready? That's why I told today you have to acquire these new skills. Don't go like the typical engineer, what Indian academic institutions they do it. You have to acquire new skills, new capabilities, new thinking. That's it, you get a job. Next. Done? Last question?
Hello sir, I'm Mumta from Data Science sir. So you spoke about AI up to till now. So what is the future of data science students? How can they go further and flourish in fields that has data science as domain core school?
Right. See, what is happening today when we start people to people to things to things are getting connected? What is the ultimate thing happening there? There is a lot of data getting generated, right? You have a lot of data coming from social media handles like Facebook or Twitter, or so many companies are involved. A lot of data coming from the things like parts, machines, equipment and all those things, right? And a lot of data coming from ERP systems like SAP, Oracle, or a lot of this data. So there's a lot of data, serverless camera data is there, a lot of data is there. Then what to do with that data? What is the point of using that data? That's where you have to have a data science. Science means it is a mix of laws and rules, right? So you have to understand how to play with the data, how to extract the data, how to mine the data, and how to develop the algorithms based on the context of the domain. If it is healthcare, yes, healthcare domain is required to make sure that the right algorithms are developed to ensure that this data is used. For example, can you predict when the heart attack comes? You can predict today. Your body information is going, then your algorithm is doing some prediction modeling is there. That's where the data scientist job is. So how the data can be best leveraged? What are the rules you have to apply? Science is nothing but laws and rules. You cannot do it just like that. So that's the difference between analyst and the data scientist. The data scientist has to understand the whole data science, the laws, the rules, apply it on the data and make sure. So that's where AI and ML are instruments there. But the data scientist is the man, but usually data scientist is not one role. It's a mix of people in the data scientist is my person. One person having that is very big. You need to know computer science, you need to know statistics, you need to know mathematics. You also need to know storytelling. Usually data guys speak something a language which others don't understand. You talk about regression, you talk about clustering, you talk about classification, nobody understands that. You should tell them the language what others understand. That's the storytelling. When you acquire all those skills, you are called a data scientist. Clear? I'm taking more time. Yeah. No, I'm happy, but the next session is there, I guess. Yeah.
Sir, you had done BTech in mechanical engineering, sir. So how you came to this field, means like this tech field? What made you inspire? Means like go to
nothing. It's a need. I did my master's in engineering mechanical at PhD College of Technology, Coimbatore, one of the best institutions for mechanical. I got DRDO scientist, I got TCS, the choice. So it was something at that time, okay, the TCS means it is a software company, there was a lot of hype out there. Software means you get a lot of exposure, right? All those, I think, so that's it, you jumped in, there is nothing like you decided. There is nothing like some great game plan and something like. But of course, I will tell you the level what we were. When we joined the company, to write the 3 fields, we took 1 week, day and night. That is the level. We didn't know how to code. Right? As mechanical engineers, we are not that proficient about the coding and all. So that's why you have to understand what are the strengths and weaknesses. After 2 years, I realized that coding is not my interesting area. I think the innovations, the business management, getting into the management in the technology business is the right thing. That's where I see it. Okay, so you have to work hard, that's it. And you have to be clear, after joining, you have to be clear whether it is the right path or wrong path. If it is the wrong path, I could have resigned, probably I could have joined Tata Motors or Mahindra. But I felt it is the right job for me. But I struggled 1 year. Because you have to learn and unlearn so many things. Okay, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. And as I said, the 9 superstars, I will talk to my professors, I will mentor them, I will guide them, if they are interested. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the valuable information and an enlightening presentation. We are all fascinated and inspired with these innovations and are thrilled to practice digital engineering. I request Dr. M. Purushottam Reddy, HOD of Information Technology, Technology to felicitate Mr. Srinivasa Rao sir with a shawl and moment. Thank you for spending your valuable time. It's my privilege to invite our next guest, Wing Commander Srinivasa sir, onto the dais and accept his gift.
I think we are 6 meters away. I can remove the mask. I feel more comfortable. Very nice crowd, colorful, and seems to be very energetic. But you're not energetic? I think it is almost 3 hours after breakfast and we are nearing the lunch time, correct? Yeah. But it's not a regular class, you can ask for a break. There is no break now. Anyway, I just narrate a small incident that happened. Of course, just to tell you, I just retired from Air Force after serving around 2.5 decades in the aviation. Yeah. Okay. So I feel more connected to you all people because the college is about what? Yeah. So we have a undefined connection which can be defined little later after 2 years of your engineering. Okay. I have a lot of colleagues who have the same background what you have. And some of your college people also there who were there in my team recently also. Yeah.
So sorry to interrupt. It's my privilege to invite Group Captain P. Anand Naidu sir, retired as Air Force officer, adjunct professor and Center for Aerospace and Defense Laws at Nassau University of Law, to come on to the dais.
Yeah. Chandra sir, we'll continue. Not a no.
Check. Thank you very much for your patience. Very good afternoon. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for attending this. Thank you all, and nice to see young people. Before we start, I think there are some formalities. I do not know how many of you are feeling hungry. I hope not. Yeah, there are some hands going up. Good. So we will give you something, not the food, but otherwise something for your brain.
Now I cordially invite Sri Chandrasaka sir, Head Academic and Industry Council CSI Hyderabad Chapter, to kindly introduce the speakers.
Thank you. Hyderabad Chapter. I belong to CSI. Okay, let me take the privilege of introducing both the guests from Air Force. Okay. I think, when you are asking and talking about artificial intelligence, there will be a day when you're going in a car and the Google is giving you directions. It will tell you, you need to take a turn left 200 meters later, but we know that you don't take turn there. You will go ahead, don't ask me. Or you call somebody, it says, this gentleman is speaking to so-and-so, so it is better you call him after 1 hour. Okay, right. Let me quickly introduce both the speakers. Group Captain Anand Naidu. He is a retired Air Force officer with more than 25 years of service. He was working as Additional Director General Prasar Bharati in both Doordarshan and All India Radio after leaving Air Force. He is one of the directors of Information Sharing and Analysis Center, ISAC, and Cleanexit. He is also a lawyer and teaches cyber laws as adjunct professor in Center for Aerospace and Defense Laws at Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad. So we are presenting you Group Captain Anand. Next speaker, Wing Commander Srinivasa, a recently retired Air Force officer with more than 3 decades of qualitative experience in management of aircraft operations, air traffic controlling, airport management, project execution of runway, tarmac constructions, training and development, security and intelligence operations, served across the length and breadth of the country, in all the regions of the country and part of various operations. Presently working as a senior consultant aviation with the Information Sharing and Analysis Center, ISAC, partner of GMR Aviation for enhancing cyber security. He is also a visiting faculty at Nalsar University of Law. He is also a consultant for Meetstar, company engaged in manufacturing radio communication systems for their anti-drone project. So I am presenting in Commander Srinivasa also. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Before I will sir, right now. Right, sir. Can I take 10 minutes? And please, give permission. Where were you? 1 o'clock and hungry. He has already promised that there will be some material which can satisfy your hunger. Hunger of maybe plus for your knowledge, basically. So I just narrate an incident. It was around 4:45 in the morning. 4:45 in the morning here is almost, can say, generally most of the people sitting here must be either you must be on the bed or you must have just gone to bed also. Correct? So, but the colleague officer who was a part of this same team was there with me. He rang me up and told me, so there is some urgency, under an emergency. What happened? So she told, it's a lady officer. So the aircraft which was to be launched in the morning for a mission had got some emergency, could not take off. Because there is a minor fuel leak. At the lineup, it has to be sent back. I am preparing another aircraft. Give me 12 minutes of time. It will be ready. I said 12 minutes. It is too long a time. I don't know. I spoke to my chief operations officer. I told him it is 12 minutes delay now for the mission. So he said no, we can't have 12 minutes because another 15 minutes. This aircraft is supposed to be there at a particular place where it is supposed to be there to give a threat to the enemy. We are right now giving threat only, we are not going for a war. Then I conveyed immediately, sir, what can you do? Then she said, sir, I will do one thing. I will not switch off the engine and take a little risk, do the necessary maintenance and get the same aircraft getting airborne. Let's see. As I give you a chance now, then she did. And she went in the biting cold to the tarmac with her team, did whatever maintenance she did, and made the aircraft ready, and the aircraft was launched. It went, completed the mission and came back. Was it good? Exciting? It's all you, people who are sitting here, who are going to do the same in the coming days. How many of you want to really do such an exciting, challenging job in your future? Raise your hands. Oh, many hands. Okay, we will answer all your questions also at the end of the session. Okay. There are a lot of opportunities, they are waiting outside this room. But the people who couldn't join this room may not be knowing also. You are the lucky people I am saying. You are here in this gathering to know. As Mr. Srinivasa has already explained about the digitalization and the technology that is going to happen in future and it's already there. Now I'm going to say only a specific sector, that is about the aviation. You all know that after the 1902 or 03, Wright brothers innovated the aviation had started from that place. Some people say it is already there decades ago, centuries ago. You know, the Pushpak Viman which has come from Lanka, it is already there. But then whatever, we have a proof that it has started in 1902. Since then, the aviation industry has grown manifold. Till 2020, the growth was very exponential. What happened in 2020 is something which all you know. 11th March, when the World Health Organization declared that the COVID-19 is a pandemic, the aviation industry also had got affected. But it is a small downfall. That's it. But now it is everything is coming back. I think for 1.5 years you are not there in the schools and colleges, but you are back now. Similarly, all industries are opening up, including the aviation industry. The opportunities in aviation industry, I am saying, if I am going by the government figures, they are going to be six-fold by 2025. 2025, we are going to have more than 1,500 aircraft operating in the Indian skies belonging to India, which is now 600 only. We have 600 aircraft operating right now for all the operators. We are going to have at least 1,500 of aircraft physically. And the most important thing that is for the engineers is the MRO, maintenance, repair and overhauling. This is going to be almost 15 times what we are having now, because the Southeast Asia is going to be the biggest hub for all the aircraft to transit. You know what is happening? Many of the aircraft which are operating transcontinental, they choose a place where the facilities are there to come, halt, get servicing done quickly and go back. So this MRO industry is also increasing manifold. So there are a lot of opportunities for the engineers in the aviation industry for doing the MRO business. Thereafter, airport operations, signals, navigation, everything is connected to the engineers only. All the fields are going to need more and more people because the passenger traffic is expected to increase more than 25 times what it is there today. You know, aviation, how does it become very affordable now? You know, when I was in the project runway resurfacing of construction at a place in northeast India, the contractor was facing difficulty to mobilize his labor. What did he do? He tied up with one of the aviation companies, moved all the laborers in the Indigo aircraft. You know, the daily uses people, it is very convenient for them to travel by air because it is fast and it is safe during the COVID times. Because train, you are exposed more times in the train, the travel time also is more, and it is also affordable now to travel by air. How many of you have traveled by air? Raise your hands. Oh, so many. Anyhow, because there was no necessity to leave your home and go, and now the travel starts immediately after the 4th year of your graduation. You start applying for jobs, the people will call you for interviews, writing tests, so the travel will start, it will go like anything. And you will get fed up about the travels only, you want to be at home. I'm very sure. And next, since I am from the Air Force, quickly I will tell about the Indian Air Force job opportunities also. Most of you must be aware that you can apply for Indian Air Force officer's job through AFCAT, Common Admission Test. That happens twice a year. The notification comes in June and December, and the exam takes place in February and August. Those who are in the final year can appear. Those who are not having backlogs, of course. I think most of you are in that, not in that category, right? And this exam consists of a written test, interview, and thereafter medical test and merit list. A small preparation of your professional subjects, thereafter general personality development and related aspects in the interview. That is sufficient to keep yourself healthy and fit. That's it. If we can join Air Force and serve for 20 plus years, all of you all can do. For further details, anything, at the end of the session, we'll take on questions if anything is required. Thereafter, about the aviation, who are there? See, you are very lucky to be in Hyderabad. Why I am saying, we have one of the best airports in the country, and not only in country, in Southeast Asia and world also, GMR. GMR has got a wonderful aviation academy co-located here only. They have a lot of courses which can be done online while you are doing the graduation also. Also these details I'll give you end of the session if you want. This certified professional in aircraft operations, airport operations, all these courses are 3 months, 1 month. Keep doing the courses, acquire your knowledge and add to your CV so that you'll get more opportunities at the end of your graduation. Most important thing, what I'm saying is, as Srinivasa Rao has told, digitalization. That is also happening in the airports. So all the airports are also getting modernized. All of the ticket is computerized and the security is computerized. Everything is computerized. Biometric, facial identification, and they are building on only digitalization these days. When the digitalization has increased, there is a threat of cyber security also in that. So the field of cyber security in the aviation is something which is growing very, very fast. If we have opportunities in cyber security also, which I request Group Captain Naidu to cover it during this presentation. Those who are going into these fields, we have got all the details available. At the end of the session, we will take on questions. Quickly, I'll wrap it up and I wish you all the best and hand over to Group Captain Naidu. Naidu sir.
Thank you very much, Srini. I'll also remove my mask because I'm going to be at least 6 feet away from you all. Thank you, CSI, Mr. Chandrasekhar, Mr. Bala Prasad, the management of the Institution of Aeronautical Engineers. Thank you all for giving us this opportunity to interact with you all. Now, for the next 45 minutes or so, I'll be speaking to you about why cyber security. DSR sir has taken us through the technology, the digital engineering thinking, why one should be thinking digital, irrespective of the discipline, irrespective of the space you want to be, whether you want to be AI, ML, wherever you want to be. Even if you want to be a civil engineer, trust me, you have to think digital today. I keep telling people, I am a non-engineering background person. I have served in the Air Force and I have served in the Prasar Bharati and everywhere. The digital thinking today is a must. Unless we think digitally, we will not be able to survive. That's what the problem is. And I will be talking about the problems that are faced by all of us. I think the volume is very high. Can you have the volume lowered slightly? So it's reasonable. How inadvertently people are getting into a lot of difficulties. What can be done by you, especially the students, inadvertently and in that Josh, what all they are doing now and how that is going to impact the students in future. How it's going to be negatively impacting you all in future, especially when you go for jobs, when you go for any other project, funding from the venture capitalists or anyone, if you have started some startups or thinking like that. That's what VSR was talking about. That vision can be actually achieved only when you have clean cyber footprints. Clean cyber footprints, very essential for us. So the topic is cyber swachhta. Positive and negative context will be discussed by me in the next 40 minutes. Now the whole thing about cyber security, if any one of you is thinking that it's not for me, you are mistaken. You are sadly mistaken because it's affecting everyone. My mother stays in village in northern Andhra Pradesh and she is illiterate. But she operates a smartphone and she lost money because of that. The banking fraud has affected her. She never wanted to be impacted by these digital frauds that are happening. All of us, we know what is happening around us. Most importantly, the online other crimes that are happening, especially for the women, for the girls, very distraughtful incidents that are happening. How you can protect yourself, what is to be done. Similarly, what are the opportunities that we have as far as the cyber security field is concerned in terms of careers that you can choose, careers that you can, irrespective of your branch, what all careers you can go for, irrespective of your engineering background, because you are all engineers. Non-engineers also can go, that's what we tell everyone. The computers, they don't need engineers actually. If you are an engineer, you have an advantage, definitely. You start at a higher platform, but you don't have to have an engineering degree. to be good at computers. If you have analytical thinking, that's what VSR was saying. You have analytical thinking, obviously you are up to it. You are definitely going to match the best. Best of the cyber security professionals I have interacted are non-engineers. I am not saying you should all be non-engineers to be cyber security professionals. Please complete your engineering. I am not saying don't do that. But it's possible to be done by anyone. It's possible to be done by anyone. That is why the problem. The hacking is being done by absolute non-engineering graduates. You would have, how many of you have seen that Jamtara? The Flipkart? Oh, very nice. This one. The series that they have brought out. So people have seen. Jamtara is a village, small town, not village, in Jharkhand. And the whole of that town is filled with cyber criminals. And they not only attack, they also produce cyber criminals. They run institutions, they run academies to train cyber criminals. And most of them are 10th pass. 10th pass. You will be shocked to hear this. You go to any kiosk where you get your cell phone, topping up of your cell phone. The operators who are sitting behind that kiosk, they are the worst cyber criminals. For example, how they do it, if a girl goes to get her cell phone topped up, he takes a photograph and he rates that photograph based on attractiveness and willingness to speak. These are the two ratings that they give, and that rating is sold. And then those telephone numbers are used on different platforms and people start calling. So he is not an engineer. Trust me, the cell phone shops owners are not engineers, but they are the worst cyber criminals. That's why it is very essential that all of us pay a little more attention to this particular aspect, how to protect ourselves. Okay, the requirement for us is to be aware. Be aware of both problems as well as the opportunities that are there. Huge opportunities in cyber field. Okay. Huge opportunities in cyber field. Trust me, today you have so many opportunities because Sir has spoken about the industry 4.0 technologies. The new and emerging technologies, they are known as. There are about 10 plus technologies that are there. They are changing the way we look at it. We look at the world. The other day I was in Elite. We have a collaboration to set up a center of excellence there to encourage more women participation in cyber security, to bring in more women into cyber security. Now they have the printing machines that they have. He says, you give me a photo of your ear, I will print it and you can fix it if you want to change your ear. You don't like your nose, you can get it printed. You can get it printed and you can put a new nose as per your desire. That is the kind of printing technologies that have come. The AI/ML, of course, he has spoken at length. You are all aware. You are all from that field. The data science. She was asking about what are the opportunities. The data science is into almost every field. The otherwise unknown fields also are using data science to professionally manage the data. And cyber security is there wherever there is data. That is the problem. Wherever there is data, there is cyber security. And we have to secure ourselves. Nobody is going to come and secure us. If we think that cyber security is only of the responsibility of the police, the government, we are done. Okay? Awareness. One individual attains realization and awareness in the society, the whole society moves up by a notch. This is a fact. If you are aware, you will protect your near and dear ones, you will protect yourself. Once you protect yourself, you are protecting the nation. How? I'll tell you. Recently, you would have heard about attacks on NIC, 100 NIC companies. NIC is what? Anyone can tell me? What is NIC? Anyone knows what is NIC? No? National Informatics Center. And this is the organization which actually manages all the IT infrastructure of the government of India and all the PSUs. National Informatics Center. Now NIC, from that 100 computers, someone has stolen the data. How did they steal? The hacker has hacked into one personal email ID of an employee of a private company in Bangalore. Through that, he has been able to reach the NIC computers. 100 computers, they have drained out the data. 100 computers. Last year, we had an attack on ISRO. How did it happen? A non-technical, non-operational person email ID was hacked, and they could, fortunately, the resilience of the systems is so good that there was no damage. Similarly, we had in one of our nuclear power plants, we had attack. And how did it happen? Through an administrative low-level employee's email ID. They hacked into that, and through that, they went into most secure systems that are there in the nuclear power plant. So, don't think that compromising your email ID is not of significance to the nation. It is possible that if your email ID is compromised, that may be used to attack into the systems which are belonging to the defense, which are belonging to the railways, which are belonging to the police, and you will also be informed. So, it's essential that we understand what is happening with our cyberspace. With my cyberspace, I should protect, then only I will be able to protect other cyberspaces. If I don't protect my cyberspace, I am putting the national security at risk. This is what the reality is, unfortunately. Next. Okay? This is where the problem is. Always just remember that your protection is actually directly or indirectly impacting the national security. I have just explained to you 3 incidents. There are many incidents like that. There are many examples I can quote, and it's happening. The last year's, this year's Mumbai power outage is a result of cyber attack. Pimpri-Chinchwad is a small, it's a township outside Pune. It's a smart city, and Pimpri-Chinchwad had power outage resulting from cyber attack from somewhere else. We have so many attacks that are happening even now. Okay, there are no boundaries in cyber crimes. That's the problem. Someone sitting in Nigeria can attack you. Someone sitting next to you, the girl sitting next to you may be actually attacking you through the VPNs routed through some other country, Pakistan or Russia or China. Okay. Similarly, sitting here, you may be inadvertently logging into some protected systems. Some critical information infrastructure you may be attacking, because there are people who want to experiment, and in experimenting maybe they are attacking someone. There are no boundaries, there are no physical boundaries for that. Shocking and crippling effect. Yes, recently in the US, very highly advanced and technologically giant it is. The school management system was hacked. They could not even ring the bells of the school. They could not open the doors of the school. The schools were closed. You would have all heard that the supply chain management system has been hacked and they did not have beef. Fortunately, beef is not going to impact us that much, as much as it impacted US, but that's their staple there. And beef was not available. Petrol, the gas lines were attacked. You name it and it is being attacked. So, it gives shocking effect because there is no beef. People are suffering, no petrol. They are not able to drive vehicles. Okay, ubiquitous in nature, everywhere it is there. Remote intelligence, sitting here we can attack other places, other systems, other networks. Anonymity of them. This is the worst thing. This is the one factor which emboldens the criminals. They think that I am online, I cannot be traced. It's a mistake. It's a mistake on the part of that person to think like that, because electronic footprints are easily traceable. The only problem today is the international community has not yet come together as far as addressing this issue is concerned. The day they come together, it's going to be very easy to catch this scoundrel and bring him to book. It's as easy as that. Electronic footprints, if you leave, they are for good, they are permanent, they are easily traceable. Please don't leave any message, communication or footprint in the cyberspace that you will regret in future, that you will regret in life. And we, in the foundation that I am from, we handle almost 4 or 5 calls every day. People feeling bad about their own indiscretions. They have done something 6 months back. One girl has passed on photographs to one boy, and that boy also has passed on the photographs. After that, he wants, due to Corona, he wants more money to enjoy. She doesn't give, she refuses to give. He puts those photographs on the social media. In one of the schools, one boy, he started attacking the whole school management for almost 7-8 months. So all these indiscretions are going to be very, very expensive. Just be careful that all that is resulting from anonymity. There is no anonymity as far as the electronic space is concerned. It is all open. Anyone can be a victim. Yes, all of us can be victims inadvertently. It is possible that attackers are wanting to attack some other network, some other individual, but in that plowing, we may also get caught. In that process, it is possible that he may find our own IP address and he may be attacking us. So we can all become victims. We have to be alert on this. Okay. Last thing, footprint I have already spoken. Children accessing internet. Of course, you are not children. You are grown-up children, of course. So there is not much of problem as far as that is concerned. But you know what is happening? Multiple people using the same device. You are using, your brother or sister is using, and how safe they are while using, how many protections they are taking, what precautions they are taking. Very important. Please understand that, because it's possible that you would have saved some nice photographs in your gallery, and your sister or brother is uploading all of them, and some stupid guy, he wants to morph them and then put it up somewhere else. Okay, all these our call registers, they can be uploaded by the children inadvertently. The network, the email IDs, all this personally identifiable data can be uploaded inadvertently, kept open by the children. Just be careful about it. Phishing, identity theft, and financial frauds, I will talk about them a little more in detail. Next slide. Understand this. One in every 3 Indians. This is for only identity theft. What is identity theft? Anyone can tell me? All computer science background? Identity theft? Anyone? No. Not interested. Anyone can tell me what is identity theft? No. Password. Stealing passwords. Stealing access. Okay? Passwords. Corona pandemic has obviously added to the problems we have explained to you. Data protection, it's gone for a toss already because of this cyber attacks. You know, every day there is a long list of leaked credentials, access credentials on the dark web. Every day. In Air India, we had a huge cache of credentials that have been put on the dark web. We had the biggest of the attacks in the world have happened on India only. And we are the prime target for many of the state and non-state groups which are operating in the cyber theft. Okay? These are the things you are all aware, I think, because you are from the computer science, AI, ML background, so you must be knowing all these things. But just understand one or two things very important. The cyber terrorism. You may be experimenting something, trying to do something different, wanting to log into DRDO website, wanting to log in just for fun, wanting to log into the railways, just for fun, wanting to log into MOD, and there is difficulty. There is going to be great problem because you can be booked under cyber terrorism and it can cause a lot of difficulty. Just be very, very careful. Okay? Okay, these are the types based on objectives, whether it is financial objective, personal vengeance, especially at your age, it's possible that, oh, he has said this, let me attack his, hack his ID, let me hack his Facebook, let me hack his WhatsApp. Okay, this is all happening and it's happening very frequently. So don't indulge in all those things. That's another type. Then we have viruses, malwares being injected, being spread as part of massive attack, outsider penetration and insider theft also. Insiders also. Okay? Theft of property. Theft of property means including money. Okay, sabotage of data and networks. In 3 years back in Mumbai, one hospital was feeling jealous of another hospital because that hospital was getting more patients from abroad. Okay, the patients from some particular region were coming in more numbers to that particular hospital. So the hospital which was getting less numbers, they hired one hacker and he hacked into the patient management system of the other hospital. And as a result, what happened? The medicines, generally the nurses give medicines based on what is there on the screen. No? She checks for each patient, says okay, this dose at this time, these many times in a day and things like that. And that system was hacked and wrong medicines were given. 3 people lost their lives. Because of the reasons behind the whole activity, it did not come into open, but 3 people lost their lives. Recently, during the pandemic only, in Germany, there was an attack. They had to evacuate patients from one hospital. In some cases, they had to evacuate to the neighboring countries. During the pandemic, many hospitals in India, the bigger chains of hospitals were attacked. Many of them. Okay, so it's happening. And last thing, of course, vengeance, I have told you, blackmail is happening very, very rampantly. Everywhere it is happening. Okay. Depending on the target, it can be individuals, it can be organizations, or it can be on the against the property also. Individuals, most of them are personal issues. Mostly it is personal issues, and many times the online sexual crimes, all those things are happening against the individuals. And in case of its organization, both companies as well as networks like chartered accountants, networks like lawyers, firms. Chartered accountants, by the way, are very, very frequently attacked. The gentleman there standing, he wants to come and give this lecture, I am ready, no problem. Hello? You can come and give that lecture here if you wish. No? I will be happy to listen to you if you know more than what I am saying. Thank you. Okay, next. Okay, these are the problems that are rampant in our students especially, and that is impacting one generation of students. While the information availability, while the accessibility being high is very good, it's also causing a lot of distractions. One distraction is the video gaming addiction. It's a big distraction. Now, at one level, it's only wastage of time, but there are different levels in that video gaming addiction. And there are too many predators who are operating on that video gaming space. There are groups of attackers operating together and attacking the children who are gullible, who don't understand that these many things are possible. There are people who are, the grandparents especially, are losing a lot of money because grandparents give their access credentials to their internet banking to the grandchildren. Right behind you is Air Force Academy. One day I was sitting with the bank manager, SBI manager there. I went for a transaction there. I saw a lot of people queuing up and generally there in around that bank. I asked her why it is so. It was last working day. So she told me something very startling and very shocking. She said, sir, on the last working day of the month, they get their pension. All of them come, they withdraw almost all the amount except 10-50 rupees they will leave in the account. Otherwise, they ask me to transfer it to some other account, FD or whatever it is. I asked why. Says most of them say that their grandchildren have access credentials and their grandchildren within the first few days, they spend all of that money on video game. This is the problem. And I saw more than 100 people there. She says this is a major problem as far as the rural areas are concerned, because the old people, they are not good at handling the internet and things like that. They give their credentials to the grandchildren and they are getting money spent by them because of the video game addiction. Okay, cyber sexual crimes, major problem. India, the porn pictures we produce and consume maximum in the world, because there is no limitation. Despite IT Act being stringent, the imposition of those laws, the implementation of those laws is not strong enough. The police at one level are not fully aware. While there are pockets of excellence in police, there are also absolute ignorant levels in some of the police forces. So that is causing a lot of difficulty. Cyber frauds, we are discussing about them in any case. Online drugs, this is another aspect that has actually caught the attention of the nation during the corona. We are hearing so many cases that are happening. They are subjudice, so I do not want to name them. But we know that far too many celebrities are involved in online drug activity. Far too many. The best of them whom we idolize, thinking that, wow, she is too good, wow, he is too good. They are all online drug addicts. Student community in some of the states is so very badly impacted. We conduct a training program known as Cybercrime Intervention Officer Program. This program is an AICTE approved program, 15 hours online live instructor driven program. There was one student who has joined from Coimbatore. During the session, he came up, he says, sir, I have a problem. I said, what is the problem? He says, every 15 days, 10 days, one of my friends comes, he gives me a cell phone to keep it for safe custody for about 4-5 days. And after 4-5 days, he comes, takes it back. After that 15-20 days, he is not seen. So during the session, he asked me like that. So I said, okay, just do one thing, go and speak to your college counselor or your head of the department, engineering college only. So he went and told that to the engineering college head of the department. And that head of the department, fortunately, he knew the cyber cell police, computer science department. He knew the cyber cell police officer in charge. He spoke to him. So they caught this boy. Sure enough, this boy was seriously addicted to drugs. Because of that, what he does, every time he comes to the college, he will flip someone's mobile, gives it to his friend keeps it for 5-6 days. By then the student who lost the mobile has forgotten, and this boy goes and sells the cell phone and buys drugs. Such criminal activity. So finally, of course, he has been put into de-addiction and all that. Coimbatore, this has happened. Coimbatore, there is one Professor Jaykumar, who is head of the Department of Computer Science in one of the engineering colleges, and also helps the police. We have a program known as Top Current. So he helps the police in resolving the cyber crimes. So that's how we could resolve this issue. Okay, social media addiction. Now this is too big. There are people losing their lives. Celebrities losing their lives. Celebrities want so much of attention. They try and do everything to get attention of the people, eyeballs and visibility. They want to be in the news always. And when they are in the news on the wrong side, they are not able to take the pressure. Trolling has killed many celebrities, especially young celebrities. Many of us, we encourage our children to create YouTube videos and things like that to make them celebrities. Celebrity word is very good, but you have to prepare the celebrity to be the celebrity. When we want to prepare, like, I have a son. Oh, he's in Germany, he's working there. He's a software engineer. So one day he called me. He said, thank you so much, sir. I call him, sir. He calls me, sir. So in that, thank you so much, sir. I said, what happened suddenly? And once in 3-4 months you call me and suddenly you tell me, thank you, sir. What happened? So he called me and he said, I wanted to just thank you for one thing, that every time you talked about success, you also spoke about managing the success. That means not suffering the success. Success comes. You should enjoy the success. You should take prestige and matter of pride out of success. But should not be arrogant. Should not be misusing that position of success. So you have to teach. In your case, you have to learn that. Celebrities, unfortunately, when someone becomes celebrity suddenly, if she or he is not groomed to handle their success, it can become very difficult. We have too many celebrities, young celebrities, 18, 19-year-olds. Many of you would have read the story of Sridevi also. She was a heroine at, I think, 13 and a half or something. And she was acting with actors like NTR, those days. And, her success story, if you actually read, it's riddled with a lot of problems. Savitri we lost because she could not handle success. Now, in the cyberspace, why I am saying this is, the social media can bring that kind of a success overnight. It can bring success overnight. There are people, students, who are writing absolutely fantastic content on social media. They are making actually crores of rupees. And there are also people who are making crores of rupees writing, doing wrong things. How? Recently, I think you would have read it in the newspaper. Coimbatore, one husband and wife, young couple, they decide to make fake money. And it was huge money. 6 crores was actually recovered from their house by the police who were raiding. 6 crores. And what were they doing? PUBG game, they would log in, both of them, and while the gamers are playing games, they would use abusive language to give the players kick. PUBG game is being played by the students, which is of course bad now, we have got something else. These two used to give abuses in Tamil. Of course, the long arm of the police reached them and they are behind the bars. That's the natural outcome of these things that happen. So, success, handling success on social media, very essential. They were also on video gaming platforms. They were part of every video gaming platform. And they would spend, suddenly they will go log into one video gaming platform, 2-3 hours they spend, get some money, come out. That's what they would do. So, please be careful about how to handle and use the social media. I'm not giving you ideas how to misuse. I'm saying please be careful because as I told you, the electronic footprints are easily traceable. There is no way you will escape. Only problem is, on that given day, that police department has to decide that that case is number 1 on their priority. Early morning they have briefing, police people. In the briefing, if they decide that this case is number 1, by the evening they will have a definitely press meet and they will announce, we have caught the culprits. To tell you one example. Chief Minister of Delhi, Mr. Kejriwal, very popular Chief Minister, his daughter lost some money. 3 days. In 3 days, actual culprits were brought to Jalgaon and produced in Delhi. I practiced law. I had a little difficult case of one Air Force officer. His mother and he bought a flat in Delhi, Noida. And from whom they bought, that guy was a little crook, businessman, rich businessman. He was a crook. He initially told he will sell the house. Subsequently, the rates were going high. Between the time they paid the advance and the house to be handed over, the costs went up by about 10-12%. So he was asking them for the extra money. They said, nothing, we have agreed on a certain amount. They did not. He said, I am not selling it. They said, okay, give us money, advance. He said, I will give checks. He gave checks. The checks bounced. They kept trying to get that money back, 25 lakh rupees. He never gave. He was rich. He is rich. He is a good businessman. His father is a rich businessman. But they refused to give. Finally, 6 months, 1 year, nothing. Then he came to me. I said, no problem. Check bonds. We will have solutions. We had solutions. What did we do? We filed a case. We got non-bailable warrants issued against this couple. Then we went to the SP. I went to the SP. I said, we need your help. What? I want to teach a lesson to this guy. How? I said, no problem. He said, are you ready to help me? I will help you. Okay, fine. On 24th December, on a Thursday night, we picked him up by using the tracing, call tracing. Call tracing technology is there with all the police. Telangana police is very smart, by the way. They are very, very quick. If anyone is trying to fool with them, you are in for trouble. They are the best. Telangana police is the best. Just be careful. Don't try anything illegal. So from Delhi, Noida, the SP sent a police inspector lady and a gentleman police inspector. Both of them went after finding out the location of these two based on their cell phone tracing. 2 days they were there. They picked them up. They brought them to Delhi. At about 8 o'clock they landed in Delhi. By 3 o'clock in the early morning, they not only paid 25 lakhs that were due to that colleague of mine, they also paid penalty, 25 lakhs. They also paid 5 lakhs to the police as imam. All that in 4-5 hours. How? Because of call tracing. So that's what I'm saying. Footprints, very, very easy to be caught. And how they were caught? Because they were on social media active. They were sending messages from here and there. They were using the cell phones. So Noida police could catch them like this. So So it can be used both ways. And by the way, the new IT laws are mandating, although it is in hold now, for the time being, there is a stay on the new IT rules, but they mandate every platform which is providing social media services to be able to trace the origination of the call, the origin of the call. It's a provision. So all of us should be, like for example, some days back there was a message saying that the Balnagar flyover has collapsed. There was a false message like that. And that guy was caught within 2 hours. I told you Telangana police is smart. Okay. Work study from home has added to the problems of cyber security. Use of technology. I am not scaring you by saying all these problems are coming in cyber security. Use your technology very well. Please use them positively. Please use them constructively. Benefit out of it. I know third year engineering students, I am mentoring them, 3 of them. They have created startups. Fantastic startups. I am partnering with a couple of 4th year engineering students in Mysuru. They have created a technology which is used to, for the medicine treatment remotely. There are a number of success stories as far as creativity and startups are concerned. Use the technology positively. Sky is the limit. While you talk about any of our big success stories in India, they are very young people. Speaking. Okay. All of them are very young people. Use technology for the beneficial way. Always you will benefit and you will go far. Okay. Fast and efficient help will come. Gain knowledge, brings people closer, disappearing distance, obviously. These are all very common things. But I want you to please focus on the right hand side. The hazards. Actually, perennial distractors, technology. If you don't understand that you're constantly watching your cell phone, how much of damage it is causing, you're losing out a lot by looking at the cell phone constantly. Okay, potentially, FOMO they call it, fear of missing out. FOMO. As if the whole world is going to crash if I don't look at my cell phone in the next 1 minute. Nothing is going to happen. The world will be better without you looking at the cell phone. The world will be much better. Okay, don't be in FOMO. Peer pressure, weapon on social life, trying to legislate users. Video game. It's not a game. Stay safe, play safe. Stay safe, play safe. That's the motto. Okay? Okay, you want me to go? Thank you all. I'll continue because you have careers aspect of this. Okay, cyberbullying, the privacy problem, they are all there. You are all aware, computer science students. Next slide. You must please understand how to manage your social media, how much of your presence should be there in social media. I'll tell you what I have done in my personal life. Maybe it will be useful for all of you. My children, I have a daughter and a son. My daughter is a foreign service officer. My son is, I told you, computer science. Every time, as an additional daily Doordarshan, any time I had to send any social media post, and if it's not official and confidential, I would discuss with them, ask them, this is what I'm wanting to post. What is your view? What is your view? Discuss. And they will come out with their solutions. At the end of it, they understand the responsible way of posting on social media. Responsible way of posting on social media. Very important. We must understand what is the responsible way of posting and what is the responsible way of being there. Benefit by all means. Exploit the opportunities that are given by social media by all means. Trust me, the Facebook marketing has changed life of so many women. It has changed the life forever. Suddenly you found that products which are not known otherwise to anyone have become big hit. All because of positive uses. Please use, and if someone is coming to ask you how do I benefit from this platform, please give them the positive sides of the social media. You will be doing a lot of good to yourself as well as to the person who is seeking your help. It's huge platforms. I'm telling you, every day it's changing. It's multiplying day by day. The gain and benefit. Okay. I just quickly, not to scare you, but to put you into your minds, that there are many serious outcomes if you indulge in these indiscretions, I call them. Indiscretion. Sometimes ignorant acts, and ignorance is not going to be overlooked by the law, especially when it is indulging against someone. Obviously that indulgence is not going to be overlooked. Okay? We have IT Act 2000, we also have IT Amendment Act 2008. Okay? IT Act was created, by the way, to facilitate e-commerce. This is one act which has started, which was brought in to facilitate something. And it has done a fantastic job as far as e-commerce is concerned. Our checks, now we are able to issue the checks online, we are able to transfer money online, we have so many payment gateways and things like that. They are all outcome of this act. They are all the positive outcomes of this act. But there were some misuses that has been addressed subsequently. What else? You want to close? Asha. Okay, so time is up. Oh, okay, fine. No problem. Okay. So I think the slides on careers, if you can just click. Okay. So this is one program which we conduct to protect yourselves. This is an AICTE approved program. You can go through. It's available on our website. Cybercrime Intervention Officer. It trains you as first responders in cyber security. First responders, in case if there is anyone that may be victim, you can help them. You, of course, will be able to protect yourself separately from the cybercrime. Okay. These are the career-oriented certifications that we conduct from our foundation. I will leave this slide with the college. You can go through. Otherwise, www.isaacindia.org is my foundation's URL. You can go into the website. You can see all these courses. They are all job-oriented programs. 40 lakh jobs. They are there today, recorded. There are many other jobs which we do not know as far as cybersecurity field is concerned. And it is waiting for every person from any and every discipline. Need not be from computers, I told you. BA, BSc, BCom, Polytechnic students, for everyone. Engineers, of course, they are all going to get jobs if they are trained. We train some people in different levels, and we haven't had people unemployed. The cybersecurity firms are asking us to give more number of people. Okay? These are the job roles that you can get into if you get trained as cybersecurity professional. The aviation cybersecurity is another big thing that is coming up. We are creating a cybersecurity center of excellence in aviation only. Only aviation cybersecurity center of excellence in front of GMR airport in Shamshabad. That's coming up very soon. You will probably be able to see it before you pass out. These are the job roles that are there. Okay, next. That's it. I think you are all in a hurry. We have another program, so we must wind up. Thank you very much. Thank you all. I hope you take any questions, one or two questions quickly on the careers or anything like that, or you don't want to ask it.
Yeah, your HOD is saying that she is going to organize a different session, especially for the career opportunities in the cybersecurity field and any courses that you would like to do. There is a course which is very interesting and which has got a credit also for you, which is accredited by AICTE. That she's already been briefed about and will be definitely visiting once again. And for today, I think because lunch is also there, I think it is getting cold also. We'll wind up here. But I hope you have enjoyed the session. Cyber security is something, it is same as you are feeling now. You are not feeling about the urgency of this field. I am very sure. It is the nature of everyone in India right now. We are going to increase or develop into some 5 trillion economy, correct? Almost only how much? Not even 1/3 of China. We are targeting 5 trillion, 1/3 of China. Today, to become that, our cyber security is something which is to be very perfect, solid, and unbreakable. If you are not knowledgeable about this, you are going to be exposed personally. Your family is going to be exposed as a team, and society and the country is also at danger. I am telling for your career, please learn about this field very importantly. About the aviation, I am always available, and she has got the intention in any case to have a separate association for that region. We are having a different program with Women Leaders Entrepreneur program that is there with ELI. We have in Hyderabad. They are calling 3 colleges together one day. That is all women colleges only. For the same program we have got it next week. Similarly, I think she is also planning. We will meet again once again. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Small announcement. We have a lot of internships open. In case if anyone wants to intern in cyber security, we have internships open. We have an internship vertical. We conduct hackathons. While I am speaking to you, we are conducting a massive hackathon for the Indian Army in 3 different challenges in secure coding, in SDRs, software defined radios, which probably many of you would not have heard. Then of course CTF, capture the flag. These are the 3 different challenges that are there. It's a massive hackathon. 15 lakh rupees is the prize money. In addition, of course, the Prime Minister is likely to give away the award. So it's on now. Internships, as I told you, there is an opportunity to work with the police, local police, if you go through certain processes. The processes include the professional ethics and workplace training, which is free of cost for the AICTE affiliated institutions. You can take those programs. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for the valuable information. Now I request Shri Chandra Rasaka sir onto the stage to felicitate the guests with memento and shawls. My special thanks to all my students and especially all the CSI coordinators for organizing this event. I am very thankful to you students for your kind patience. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Now P. Pranika, Joint Secretary of CSI IRE Chapter, would propose the vote of thanks.
It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, entire team of CSI, and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all speakers for gracing your important work and sharing with us your findings and opinions today. We are all inspired by your great work, sir. Thank you.
I request all the CSI members to stay back. The rest of the students can leave.